know what affected me? It was people's reactions. I was like, they act like you just like killed someone.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, really, around how you felt the stigma to that was to you at the time. I mean, I was made bankrupt in 2008, like September 2008. Mine was
a terrible time. Yeah.
So I was at the kind of very beginning of that when I was young. I was 27, 28 at the time, and there wasn't a bigger black mark, a bigger stigma in business. I mean, I guess you and I have come from the different careers insofar as with business, you probably argue that the bankruptcy is more of a black mark, more directly related than in, let's say, a media type career. But all the people surrounding me at the time, professionals, experienced people, were very much, you'll never work again. Your career, your career's over. You're finished. And I always get asked about how did I deal with it, and how what were my great tips for coming back? And I never had an exciting answer to give, because my answer was always very much, I had no choice. I could sit at home.
This is the thing, you see. This is why I said it's all about people's opinions of you, isn't it? And here we go again. I mean, when I got into this music business, I had everybody telling me this was a very bad decision. I was forcing my manager from the gospel community who was managing me. I was forcing him to get me a deal when I was 17. He was against it. My family were against it. My friends were against it. They all said, you're never going to make it. You're never going to get anywhere. I'm really used to that. The thing for me is, the more you tell me I can't do something, the more I will do it. And you really have to be this person. You don't allow people's opinions to affect you. You just don't. You get up, you brush yourself off and keep moving. That's my motto, because there is no finality in this life. Life is always about change. It's always about, and if you can always adapt, and hopefully before the change, adapt before, then you're ahead of the game. So you don't allow these silly little things. Who cares? I always say to people, when you go to a graveyard, right? You don't see yachts and houses and planes. You don't see any of that. You just see the tombstone. That's it. Done. You're not taking any of this with you. It's just stuff. And the beautiful thing for me being in art, it's so important, that mentality, because none of those things makes your art any better. You're not tuning into that. It's harder for people who don't have a creative outlet to be affected by things like bankruptcy or losing a company or losing whatever. It's much harder for those people who don't have a creative outlet. It's much harder. So I understand your pain, because it's, where is your outlet? For me, the healing for me is always writing a song, being in the studio. I forget about all my stuff then, because it's not about the stuff. It's about touching people's lives. And that is so much more important than a company or whatever. Who cares? Just build another one.